really good to see Hub kind of grind through it. You know, I think he landed one off-speed pitch in the first 4 innings. And that shows you, number one, you know, a gutsy performance, but it's also a credit to Jimmy. Jimmy knows you can't get through a lineup and get a quality start out of a guy with one pitch. We kept going to it, and then he started finding it in the 4th or the 5th, 6th, and you know, that's what it's about. And I pulled him off to the side. I said, Hub, you know, it wasn't long ago that you'd have been out of that game so quick, but that's that you know, maturation process. So good ball game. We got to be ready to go tomorrow. The crowd was outstanding. A lot of times, you know, day game after a night game, guys are dragging a little bit. Crowd really, that was a big one. I don't even know what the total was, but it was a big one. 53, 70, that works. So great environment. Questions?
I think Bryce and Parker show their competitiveness in different ways, but how does the way he threw today speak to the competitiveness that he also has?
Yeah, they're both. You know, there's that it factor that sometimes they come in with it, sometimes they don't, but they develop it, and it's crucial for them, you know, moving on in their careers. You know, when you're out there and you're going every 5th day, and you know it turns into, you know, things aren't going well. You can't get a call. You can't, you know, this. You got to figure it out. That's what the great ones do, and I'm just so proud of both of them.
You were telling us on Thursday that you made a couple of tweaks to Brett's swing, and he had a 3 RBI day today. How good was that to see from him, and does it give him a little bit more confidence moving forward?
It should, because his exit velocity in the last 2 days is much improved from where it was. And, you know, I think he's starting to be like, wow, wait a minute, yeah, there is something to that, staying through the ball versus, you know, like we talked about yesterday, that top hand being dominant and rolling over the top, and takes away from his bat speed and swing plane and everything else. So, you know, that's the kind of Brett Roberts swings that we got to have.
It seemed like the outfield could almost cover the ocean today. Just how pleased were you with the way they covered ground out there?
Yeah, it was, you know, a couple of really good efforts, and you know, Jaime made some decent plays out there, and you know, Logan was real close to making an unbelievable catch, and AJ did make an unbelievable catch. And you know, you gotta defend. Pitching's only going to work if the defense is there. And you know, we still got some things we got to clean up and figure out, but I like the direction we're heading.
The pitching staff's always, at least for recent past couple of years, has always been so big part of this team and their success. But the past 10 or so games, the offense has really stepped up. How big of a deal is it for you? What have you been doing to bring that into focus a bit more?
Well, we're spending a little bit more time, you know, the nuances of hitting. You know, you don't have to get a hit. You got to go up and do things that make sense. Pitch selection, whether to bunt, you know, where's the defense? The guy's shifting. You got this whole area open here. Staying inside, you know, chasing the top with the guys that have carry. The guys that sink it, you got to chase the bottom of it. Match the plane of the pitch, and not the plane of the ground, but the plane of the pitch. And I did, you know, when they brought in the hard throwing right-hander, I thought, you know, a couple guys, you know, did some things that were not like them. And you know, every base means the same. They all count the same. They all got to be same intensity and focus.
I know I asked you about it last week. It's now 6 series wins on the weekend in a row to start the season. What's that speak to about? I mean, there are days where it's the pitching, there's days where it's the hitting, there's days where it just seems like this is a team that can win in so many different ways.
That's what we're strive to do. You know, you're not going to have the bats every night. You're not going to have the pitching every night. There's be times of defense in there. You got to pick each other up. You know, figure it out. Grind, and you know, keep pushing it. That's kind of our mantra. And, you know, we feel like we can do things in different ways. You know, we can hit it out of the ballpark, we can defend, we can pitch it, but we just got to be ready for, you know, everybody's best shot, because that's what we get. You know, that's what tradition does. That's what you know, everybody, you know, they raise their game, you know, to who they're playing. So we got to match intensity, focus, energy, everything, every single night, every time we play. Day games, night games, doesn't matter.
Speaking of hitting it out of the ballpark, Alex almost had 2 tonight, but he's got 7 on the year. No matter where you have him in the lineup, what does that do for you to just have somebody who can hit it out of the park, no matter, you know, what side of the lineup he's on?
When guys have that, you know, real power, you're always checking to see where they're at when they're coming up, because it can change things. One swing of the bat, you know, that's. And again, when you throw guys in that have speed too, then it really becomes disruptive. So that's why we are chasing those guys on recruiting trail, and you know, at that he had when he smoked it to the shortstop. I was more pleased with that than the first pitch that I think it was a changeup that he hit out. But he dang sure crushed it.
I don't think AJ had a hit today, but it still felt like he found a way to impact the game, and I think he ran like a 405 down the line that first AB. Just how special are his tools, and do you feel like you're still going to keep giving him as many opportunities as possible to get those tools to show even more?
No question about it. You have to. It's like Crowell on the pitching side. Guys that can do things that you can't, that are hard to find, you got to keep doing. And if they put it together, then you've got a 5-tool guy that can beat you in so many different ways. And, AJ made that play in the outfield. I think he scored a run, if I'm not mistaken. But he's a pain. Yeah, he did score a run. Drew a walk, got on. But he can beat you in so many different ways. He's a great talent that I can't wait to see what the finished product looks like.
As a freshman, can you talk about how big of a bat Jaime already provides this team?
Yeah, he's one of those guys that are really hard to find because they're like literally born hitters. He's always hit. It didn't matter right-handed, left-handed, hard, soft. He can hit every pitch that's out there. And those guys, are few and far between. And the fact that he can hit the ball the other way, he can run. He can play multiple positions. He's a talent. He's a talented guy.
I think in that last at-bat alone that Colton smothered 3 balls in the dirt. When you guys have so many guys that throw breaking balls and off speeds in the dirt just to get swing and misses, especially late in games, how crucial is that skill for him?
You know how hard it is to get those last 3, last 5 outs in a ball game. If they don't hit it, it's a heck of a lot easier. So that's why you have guys on the back end that are going to punch guys out, and you're going to punch them out. You get them to chase. Generally speaking, most guys will chase down, splitter, breaking ball, stuff along those lines. Some of them you can go up and get them, but most of them you got to go down. So you got to have a guy like Colton that can do it. He's, I'm telling you, as good as we've had here and as I've seen in a long time blocking balls.
In your last 8 games, or 8 wins, you've outscored your opponents by I think 38 runs. Are you going to keep? Not are you going to keep? Can we expect more of you just like pounding other teams in the dirt like this?
I think we're going to get better. I don't. Again, we've got some guys that aren't, clicking on all cylinders, if you will. And once those guys get it, that's what you're hoping for. You're playing your best baseball at the end of the year. I don't care about doing it right now. Sure, it'd be great if we could, but you can't. That's why the ebbs and flows of the season are real. So, I think we can, continue to improve.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
Appreciate it.